Should Hawaii adopt a major change in its energy policy? The answer is quite simply yes. We live in a beautiful place, and we need to take care of where we're from. Now, we might fight different obstacles, but we need to set goals in order to achieve the unbelievable, which is making Hawaii sustainable. My name is Amanda Nelson, and for the past 7 years, the Big Island has been my home. I honestly love it here, and even though we have different difficulties like Camilo Beach on South Point, where we can't control the fact that tons of debris wash in ashore annually, and that we have problems such as importing crude oil, where only 29.5% of our oil comes from the United States, and even that has to be imported to the islands. But we have to also see that maybe we're not the ones with the obstacles. Maybe we can be a model. Maybe it's others that have the obstacles. I mean, it should be simple to see that others wish that they were on an island, that they can control what comes in, what goes out, and see how sustainability will function in their community. We have to understand this is what everyone wants. And if we take this into consideration and become a role model for the rest of the world, then we can not only sustain ourselves, but we be a model to others. One thing that we can use is solar power, solar panels. We can use wind energy. All of these different elements can make a major difference on how we plan our community and how we see ourselves as an island nation. An example could be energy cars, like solar power energy cars. We can use wind power, we can use the sun, and try to have an island like Hawaii or Molokai just use these high efficiency energy cars and actually see how it affects the rest of their economy. So we can try this out. It's really difficult if you're in a city such as Los Angeles because you have cars coming in and out from other states, from other places in California, and you can't really control what stays in and what stays out. Back to the Big Island. It's really cool because we also have resources that other places don't have. For example, we have geothermal energy. This is an energy usage source that countries like the Philippines use on a daily basis. Indonesia has also used it in the past. But ultimately, it's our whole world that's going through this energy crisis. And if we can be the middle point, if we can be that specific idea of changing energy policy, then we can actually be revolutionaries. Here's some statistics on major countries and their total sulfur emission and their energy use. So this little dot up here is the United States. And the size of the dot represents its population. So this year is 1960. And as it starts to play through, you can see as through the years what countries become more prevalent with their energy use and total sulfur emission. So right here we have a bunch of European nations. You know, you haven't even gotten to Asian or anything like that. Here we see China coming up. We see India. We're all the way at the top. The United States, the energy use that we use total is miraculous, and to think even countries like Namibia are getting on board. Everyone is coming up and really seeing how we are the main source of our problem. And so wouldn't it be cool if we were actually the change to solving the problem? So right now what we're looking at is this peak. We want to reach that peak so we can go down in our energy use. And it might look simple for us, but it's actually a lot bigger. It's on a global scale. And there are a lot of points and movements that we have to work with and understand that it's not going to be set in stone. It isn't that easy. But guess what our world needs? We need a model. And guess what, Hawaii? We can be that model. Because we have the ability to sustain ourselves on an island and show the world, like, hey, you know, this works for this type of population. This works for this type of population. Or this works for this climate, this works for that climate. As said, no task is too big when done together by all. This Hawaiian phrase really shows how in our culture, in our community, we've always stuck to sustainability. Through the Aha Pua'a system, we've had people that work through history to combat different wildlife reserves, to try and save resources to help each other out. And really this falls underneath not only us, but it falls within the global community. So here's our energy use. Right now, it's taking over our lives. But if we switch our lights to CFLs, if we do things like put solar power into our house, then we'll be able to lift up that burden, and it won't be something that's weighing us down. For example, in the state of Hawaii, the Blue Planet Foundation has initiated several projects around all of the islands to initiate light bulb exchange, to help people understand that there are a lot of different things that you can do around your house to save energy. Also, there's the Hawaii 2050 Sustainability Plan, a plan that even though it's really major on Oahu, it hasn't really outreached to some of the neighbor islands. And as a Big Island resident, I kind of feel like that should be something that we should integrate in all of the different islands if we really want to be sustainable. So let's say yes, Hawaii. Let's say, let's be sustainable. Not only for us, but for the global community. It's a lot bigger than we think. We're not just some random islands in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. We can make that difference. Let's be the best Hawaii we can be. And remember that the world is in our hands.